First things first, rest in peace to ex-Syracuse and ex-Celtics player Fab Melo, as he apparently passed away in his sleep yesterday in Brazil. Sending prayers to all of his friends and family. Now, there's not much news except for a Twitter exchange that I thought was pretty interesting, but there were still 8 games last night, so let's just get into it. You guys remember that memo the NBA sent out to teams about proper social media conduct, basically telling them to stop taking shots at other teams, players, and refs on Twitter? Well, apparently the Sacramento Kings and the Atlanta Hawks wanted to show the league that they got the memo. You know how someone tells you to act a certain way or something like that, and then you want to be petty so you do what they tell you but you take it way overboard? Well, I think that was the case here. The NBA tells team to chill on calling each other out on Twitter, so the Kings and Hawks decide to become best friends on Twitter. During Friday's Kings-Hawks game, this was the Twitter thread that happened. I'm gonna have the tweets up on the screen for you guys to read because, quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable saying these things out loud. Oh, and by the way, here is some more appropriate background music. How do you feel after reading those? Now, we all know how that game ended. The Kings did indeed make a comeback, and knowing the reputation of the Sacramento Kings Twitter page,
Cleveland, this is for you!
And that the Hawks are from Atlanta and they blew a lead, we all know how that thread would have ended if it were not for that memo. And maybe this is how the NBA wants the teams to use their Twitter pages. But look, all I'm saying is the Sacramento Kings missed an opportunity for one of the most savage tweets from an NBA team account this year. That's about it for the quote-unquote news though, or whatever from last night. Now let's get on to the games. This was the game that really everyone was looking forward to. Now we all knew that it was most likely going to be the Warriors who came out on top, and I'd say after the first quarter you could see that was kind of going to be the case. After the first, it was really a blowout the rest of the way. However, it was a blowout that you really couldn't turn away from either. KD and Russ started jawing at each other headed into a timeout in the third, Russ apparently saying, "I'm coming." Not quite sure what KD was saying because his back was turned from the camera so we really couldn't see his mouth. Cantor, with his broken arm and all, had to say a couple of words to KD too and also show his support to Russell. And then later in the game, Andre Robertson and KD both used headbutt, but it wasn't very effective. Overall, that's what everyone was expecting to see. And I still think it would be kind of cool to see the Thunder slip to the 8th seed somehow. But considering the distance from 7 to 8 is so far in the Western Conference, that really doesn't seem possible. But still, it'll be nice to see the intensity of an OKC Golden State matchup in the playoffs. Moving on though, the Warriors got the win 130 to 114. You could tell the nerves were getting to KD a bit as he came out a bit out of control to start the game, but he composed himself and had 34 points and 9 rebounds on the night. Clay and Steph both chipped in 26 apiece, and Russell Westbrook for the Thunder had 47 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 11 turnovers. How many Nikola Jokic's does it take to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers? Well, I don't know, but obviously more than one, as the Cavs beat Denver 125 to 109 despite a valiant effort from Jokic. 27 points as well as 13 rebounds for Nikola, but that was countered easily by LeBron James and Kyrie, who each scored 27 of their own. LeBron James also had 12 assists to go along with his 27 points. The win streak stops at 13 as the Philadelphia 76ers defeat the Miami Heat 117 to 109 to earn their 20th win of the season. They have now doubled their win margin from last year. Still, that streak was one of the most impressive things I have seen so far this season. Hey, this is 2 in a row for Philly, so maybe now they go on a 13 win streak too. I already know someone in the comment section is going to take this too seriously, so if you're that person, learn how to take a joke. Really balanced scoring for Philly as all the starters score in double figures. 19 points for Nerlens Noel and 19 points for Dario Saric. He has another good game off the bench. For Miami, James Johnson had another good game off the bench as well though, 26 points, and Goran Dragic also at 30, and Whiteside grabbed 19 rebounds. Giannis doesn't score a career high this time, and the Bucks get a win over the Pacers. You would think it would be the other way around, but hey, one win is better than no wins. Giannis did almost have a triple-double though, but what else is new? 20 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists for the Greek Freak. Mirza Teletovic had 19 off the bench and 17 apiece off the bench for Greg Monroe and rookie Malcolm Brogdon, as the Bucks get the 116-100 win over Indy. You know, the Hornets really can't seem to buy a win these days. They got the one over Brooklyn a while ago that snapped their 7-game losing streak, but I mean, it was against Brooklyn. They lost a close game yesterday to the Clippers, 107-102 is your final score. 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists for Blake Griffin, and Jay Crossover at 22 off the bench. If I were a Magic fan, this would have been one of those games I just couldn't stand to watch. I mean, there would be absolutely no way I've been able to sit through all 48 minutes of that. And if I somehow did manage to will myself through it, that would have been the most depressing 48 minutes of my life, as they lose to Dallas 112-80. You know, sometimes making shots is much harder than it seems. 20 points for Wesley Matthews though, including making 6 of his 8 3-point attempts. I knew the Rockets were about to score a bunch of points this game. I mean, the Phoenix Suns aren't the best defensive team in the NBA, in case you didn't know. 133-102 is your final score. And the game was really over in the first half as the Rockets led 77-53 at the break. 40 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Beard. And Patrick Beverley had 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for Houston. This is one of those games where the Celtics were really just meant to win. You know, everything was going their way. It seemed Utah really couldn't stop them. Every time Utah thought they were about to do something to get the lead or get back in the game even, it didn't work out. The Celtics would respond. Boston was up by a pretty comfortable margin the entire game and finished with a 112-104 win over Utah. Isaiah Thomas scored 29 points and Kelly Olynyk had 19 off the bench. Gordon Hayward did drop 31 for Utah and George Hill contributed with 22 of his own. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 110 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. And now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Draymond Green and his triple-double of 10 assists, 10 steals, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 4 points as your player of the day. And here are today's nominees. You have the Beard and his 40 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Blake Griffin and his 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. LeBron James and his 27 points and 12 assists. Or Kevin Durant and his 36 points and 9 rebounds. You guys can go vote for the player of the day right now. The link to the poll will be in the description box below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like on it if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!